Okay. Next question is right. So we have Sora. So imagine that ChatGPT has Sora added, which gives it
Yeah.
video understanding. So that's figuratively giving it eyes. I've made a video about Sora and multimodal ChatGPT, and then imagine that there will be a audio understanding model coming to ChatGPT very quickly because it's
Yeah.
almost certainly in the works for OpenAI. So now you've got eyes and ears. What is the next
Yeah.
modality you think OpenAI should add to ChatGPT?
So eyes, ears.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't care about smell. Um, touch.
So you're thinking of the humanoid robot again.
Yeah. Well, like as in to theoretically, they've made. I saw again on the Figure One robot that
Mm.
I saw somebody's explanation of the human finger.
Mm.
If the human finger was big enough to go over the earth or something like that, or is as big as the earth,
Mm.
you could tell with the amount of sensors that are on your finger
Mm.
the difference between a house and a car
Mm.
in shape and size.
Mm.
That's how sensitive the finger is.
Yeah.
Um, Using that, I guess, in a machine just make sense for like if you want to have robots that are doctors and surgeons.
I would not discount smell
I'm not discounting it. I just don't
because
really find
I
it that
actually okay. So
interesting.
so there has been a couple of there's been research on you know how they train these dogs to detect cancer,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
And it
Yeah.
sounds magical, and sometimes these dogs are actually more accurate than traditional diagnostic methods, right? And
Yeah.
supposedly there are humans who can actually detect pheromones at low
One
concentration.
human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah.
Imagine if we could actually harness this in an AI system.
I
You
think
know,
they're trying to figure out how to do
yeah,
that.
like dogs. The truth is, I think dogs can do so much. Like if dogs had human intelligence, the amount of medical diagnosis they can do is far greater than what they currently can do. It's just that we've only managed
Lazy
to train
dogs.
dogs to do these types of diagnoses. But if we had
Yeah.
an AI superintelligence, it's got at least human level intelligence, and it's got all these different olfactory sensors, and then you give it ones that don't exist in most animals, that would be utterly insane. Like, because I'm pretty old fashioned. Like, I don't see AGI as being all that useful. To me, AI is basically a big signal processing machine. You feed it some dirty signal, and then out comes this, and it basically just looks for parts that are interesting, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had like so many different olfactory sensors inside the AI, and then it can basically like tell like it's got this much concentration of this sense and this much concentration of this sense, and that equals this. And AI would be superhuman levels of being able to pick out absolutely like minute changes in the environment. I actually think that's going to be a life changer.
I I don't disagree with you. Like as in, and I know that there are things that they've been working on, but I think that the issue with smell, from my understanding, was that we don't fully understand how it works.
It's going to be
And
very, very hard to train.
yeah, like you're talking about, like in my mind, creating. I think it was like blue LEDs.
Hmm.
They and purple LEDs.
Hmm.
They had they knew that they could make red and green easily, but then the size of the actual
Did you
material and
watch
the
that
distance
Veritasium
between.
video?
No, not on this, but I remember seeing
Veritasium
something.
just made a video on the invention of the blue LED, like in the last month.
I haven't seen
Okay,
it. Sorry. I remember learning about some Nobel Prize laureates
yeah,
from Europe that created the blue LED,
it's actually a
and
Japanese guy.
yeah, I was about to say that's a guy from
Yeah,
Asia,
yeah.
working to create it, and uh, it was like it was near on impossible because it was like a sub wavelength or something like that of light that was meant to be coming out. Again, I saw this about 10 years ago,
Hmm.
so that I'm not as up to date as Veritasium.
Yeah, so
So I should
the
probably
the
watch that.
difficulty of the blue LED supposedly is getting the crystal substrate just right.
Yeah.
Apparently, they needed a little bit of impurities. Actually,
Oh,
the final method had like just the amount of impurity to make the crystal the structured the way that it is.
okay.
Yeah.
I really would love to learn more about material science because I think that's the pinnacle of science to me. Knowing what's happening on the very minute level to such a point that you could actually control and understand these almost quantum level explanations to reasonings and things. And I want AI to be able to help me kind of do that kind of stuff where it's truly magical in the future. Because I also know that the same smell receptors in the nose apparently work in a similar fashion to it's not a full quantum, it's like a sub-quantum measurement for smells. That's why you can pick up a smell from like very far away, and a dog has more of those
A smell
sensors.
is not a quantum phenomena, though.
I know, but yeah, again, watch a video on it. Just this is my head canon, I guess, of what it is. But you're picking up like particles in this in space, obviously through your nose.
Yeah.
But from like the I know that smell is very difficult, and that lady that can actually smell. She smelled her husband saying that he just stinks, and then she actually went to a hospital or something like that, and could smell everybody there that had was it Parkinson's? Is
Parkinson's,
it?
yes, that's correct.
Yeah, Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then, I don't know about any human smelling cancer, but yeah, the Parkinson's disease one. I find that fascinating. Okay, I give it. Maybe smell is the most next important thing to be looking at.
I'm not going to make a habit of just convincing you, yes, my opinion is right.
Yeah, well, no. I see the benefits of it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just worried that I'm going to come off as a smelly Parkinson's person to have some medical diagnosis. It's like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
I already sometimes feel that's the case.
Yeah.